Good morning. Good morning. I feel like I've been rushing about all morning and, you know, it's not even, it is only still morning as well. But I am heading to my parents, spend some time with them today, and it is horrific weather. So I'm going to be wanting to set off fairly soon, but I thought I'd sit down and do this for a little bit first. Oh, I haven't got any knitting to update you on because I didn't do any more following last night's little clip. But I am planning on doing some crafting today with Mum. I'm going to be helping her continue with the sweater that she's knitting. We're still on the swatch at the minute, but I'm going to help her continue on that one. And I'm going to continue on some of my Christmas bits and bobs that I'm not showing you yet. So we will be doing a day of that. And then we've got film night this evening, so it should be a nice day, albeit a little busy. Just back and forth on the road really, mainly. And I need to get some food before I head off as well. But yeah, it should be a nice day. I say busy, it'll only be busy in the transition bits. The actual activities themselves will be nice and relaxed, but the transitions are going to be a little bit so yes, I will need to make sure that I'm calm, especially for the drive, because yeah, it has been absolutely throwing it down all morning. It is gross. But we are starting to near the end, and I don't want it to end. I've enjoyed this so much. I've had so much fun with it. I wish it could go on forever. I can definitely see why people like yarn advent so much, although I think if I was ever going to start on one, this was the best one for me to have started on. I don't think I could have picked one that more perfectly aligned with some of my favourite things in the world. But, excuse me, I've got a bit of a runny nose this morning. I've been sneezing like crazy. So, day 19, Thorin's Greed. Okay, this should be an interesting one. This should be a good one. Oh, look at those. Let's close the door. So we've got quite a few different colours in here actually. We've got some greys, some browns, some greens, and just the odd flash of like a black just threaded through. Almost some purples as well. Oh, that's going to be a lovely fabric. That's going to knit up so pretty. I didn't look at yesterday's. I didn't look to see if anybody knit up yesterday's colourway either. I need to keep better on top of this. I am almost like avoiding the Discord because I'm having to think about whether or not I've done today's, because I'm kind of half thinking today and half thinking yesterday for like all the video editing and stuff. And it's taking a lot of brain power to work out whether or not I can risk going on the Discord and looking. So I've kind of been avoiding it a little bit, but that is, oh, I do like a green and a purple together. I know it's like an interesting combination, and a lot of the time it's done for like a Halloween kind of vibe, but when it's kind of almost like muted, I think they look so pretty together. I always really like them. Oh, that's going to make a gorgeous piece. Oh, that's so pretty. Sorry. Apparently I can't go 10 minutes without blowing my nose or anything this morning. I hope that passes. It normally does. I normally just get like this in the morning and then it tends to clear as the day goes on, but it's still very annoying. But yes, I am hoping to do some crafting today with Mum. And fingers crossed, I've got fibre in my mouth. Occupational hazard. Fingers crossed, I'm hoping to finish my cardigan this evening. I'm very excited about the possibility of getting that finished. So yes, right, let's get some chocolate. Chocolate will cure stuffy noses, right? That's how this works. Ugh. Oh, half my doors are reclosed. It's getting harder and harder. What day is it? The 19th. I know what day it is. Yeah, it is just absolutely miserable here at the moment. And it's, I shouldn't really say this, but it's too warm. It's too warm for past the middle of December. Like when I took Penny for a walk yesterday, it was 12 degrees. In fact, no. It was 12 degrees at like 9 o'clock last night, which it just feels weird. It doesn't feel cold enough. Especially not for Santa. Doesn't feel cold enough for Santa. So it sounds weird to say I hope it gets colder, but it is kind of odd. It's a strange feeling. It's almost stopping me feeling festive because part of my brain's like, nope, it can't be December. It can't be near Christmas. It's not cold enough. So yes, I need to finish my drink, get myself some slightly more substantial food and head off in the rain. But yeah, so that is the plan for today. I'm going to try and check in, I think, before film night, if I get a chance. Yeah, I'll try and check in before film night if I get a chance. If not, it'll be after film night. So yes, I will see you later. Good evening. Definitely later than I wanted to do this last little bit. I was hoping to have done it before film night, but the sweater that I was helping Mum with didn't want to play ball at all. We started off and it was all going well, and I don't know why, but for some reason I just pointed at a row of charts and said start there. Row 32. Why did I tell her to start on row 32? I know better than that. I have no idea what my brain decided to do there. So I had to undo everything that we'd done. Managed to get to the end of row 2 with like a couple of mistakes, but they got fixed. And then I laid it out in front of me, and it's a sweater knitted in the round. I laid it out in front of me, and it looked like there was a twist in the. I just sat and stared at it, and she was like, "What? What's up?" I was like, "I think I've twisted when I joined in the round." And by this point, we'd spent about 3 hours just in the first 2 rows, and I was ready to throw the damn thing out the window. But I was like, no, I refuse. So I did have a quick look, and it looked like it had twisted, but it hadn't. So I was like, no, I'm forcing this right. It's gonna be right. So we have managed to get on to round 3 of this sweater, but it's definitely the most complex thing that my mum's ever knitted. And while it's not necessarily the most complex thing I've ever knitted, it's not written in the clearest way in the world. So So I spent longer at my parents' than was originally planned because I was not leaving this. Well, first of all, I wasn't going to leave her sat in the mess that I'd created by giving her the complete wrong instructions to start off with. And then once we got partway through round 2, I wanted to at least get it to a point where, you know, she was happy enough that she could feasibly continue without me kind of hovering over her shoulder, which I think now we have done. I know that she won't be doing any more tonight or probably for the next few days because I think we both just need to emotionally recover from today's knitting experience. But yes, we've got to a point where it's right. But in slightly better knitting news, I have finished my cardigan and I'm very happy with it. Very happy with it. So it hasn't got the exact same shaping at the top as the original because, as I said yesterday, I've had to go off script a little bit. I've had to improvise. So I've definitely gone with more increases than the original pattern. So it's a little more open at the top and the collar kind of pokes in a little bit, which I haven't decided. I say collar, neckband. I haven't decided how I completely feel about that yet, but I wasn't originally going to block this because my thoughts were it's huge, really, really chunky, and I might just get away without blocking it. But having now finished it, I think I will block it because I think it will benefit from blocking. I think it will actually just improve some of the shaping, especially the way that I've done the kind of the raglan style decreases around the top. I actually think blocking will help, and I feel like there are just some bits that need to relax into their proper shape. So yes, I will be blocking. It's going to take forever to dry, but I have indeed finished it. And I think this is going to be so snuggly. So I'm really looking forward to having this dried. But I think yeah, definitely planning on blocking this. But yes, I finished this during film night. We watched The Hogfather, which I hadn't seen. And I have read I started on Terry Pratchett this year. I had never read any before this year, which all my friends, my reading friends, were kind of horrified by because I love reading fantasy stuff. And, you know, Terry Pratchett does a lot of very good fantasy writing. So everybody just kind of assumed that I'd read some. So when I said, no, I haven't, I was bought the first book. So I read the first Discworld book, Colour of Magic, and the writing style was a little not what I expected, but I thought I quite liked it actually. He's quite funny in the way that he writes. So I have read The Colour of Magic. I've got the next one, though the name escapes me right now. I can't remember what book 2 is called. I have it upstairs. I can see the cover in my head, but not the name. So I will be starting to read more of his stuff. But yeah, never had seen The Hogfather. So it was quite good. So it was the kind of the 2-part thing with David Jason. So we watched that this evening, and yeah, it was good. So we planned on a little festive edition of film night, and I think that was a good call. It was very enjoyable. So yeah, really enjoyed that. And it is later than I'd planned because we've just had to try and sort something with our neighbour. There was an alarm going off and we had to knock on the door, and it's too late for that, and just feeling really awkward about it now. But everything's fine, which is good. Everything's okay, but I still feel awkward about it. But yes, it is late. I need to do my Hobbit reading and I need to go to bed. Definitely need to go to bed. So this blocking process will start tomorrow. And now that my design has finished blocking, I will be returning to that, my crochet design, which I'm looking forward to getting back to. So yeah, interesting day. Lots of trials today. Hopefully tomorrow will be a little easier on the brain. But yes, good night. Back to the dwarves at Ravenhill. I think I said Dale last time, that's my bad. So the dwarves are actually at Ravenhill, and a raven comes and tells them that Smaug is dead and that there are several armies on approach, because there seem to be a lot of races that can talk to birds. So the men of the lake can understand the thrush, and some dwarves can understand ravens. So the raven tells them that Smaug is dead, that there are armies on the way, and that the person who killed the dragon, who is Bard, is more trustworthy than the master of the town, and that he would be worth listening to. However, at this point, Thorin is already quite concerned that people are going to be wanting the treasure in Erebor, so the dwarves race back to the mountain and block up the door. They do find out actually that a couple of the ponies did survive Smaug's hunting, so Philly and Killy go to get those and whatever supplies they can get off those before the dwarves barricade themselves inside the mountain. And then from then on, actually it's quite similar to the film. Bard approaches and basically lays out why the people of the lake believe that they are owed some kind of compensation for the trouble that they went to, and the fact that they've lost their homes and a lot of them have lost their lives as a result of the dwarves entering Erebor and angering Smaug. Thorin sees no reason why he should give any of his treasure to the men of the lake or the elves that are with them. Bard says, well, actually, the elves have saved us. They brought us food and aid when we needed them, when we were pretty much homeless and ill on the side of the lake. And Thorin doesn't really care. So he's saying, absolutely not. We're not gonna let you take any of our treasure. And then the people of the lake and the elves pretty much say, right, well, you've now declared yourself to be our enemy then, and it looks like war is about to start. A lot of the dwarves seem to be in agreement with Thorin at this point. They do say that Bomber, Philly and Killy don't seem to agree with him as much, and Bilbo certainly doesn't. Bilbo's not happy with this turn of events at all. So we will find out what he does about it tomorrow.